So you're thinking about moving to the Lansing, Michigan area, and you're wondering, what does Lansing, Michigan have to do during the holiday season? Well, in this video, I'm going to be sharing with you some of the highlights of what there is to do in the greater Lansing area around the holiday season. And if you stay tuned until the end, I'm going to share with you a place that's a little over an hour away where there's Christmas everywhere and it's world renowned. So I invite you to take a break here, grab a cup of good cheer, because we're going to get started with this episode of Lansing, Michigan Life right now. Hey everybody, Merry Christmas to you. It is the holiday season here in Michigan. I've got my Santa garb hat. I'm excited to share with you just some of the many places that you can go to in the greater Lansing area. And some of you who are out there might be viewing this channel for the first time, and you might be thinking about moving to the greater Lansing area. And we get phone calls all the time from people who are just like yourself looking to move to the greater Lansing area. So if that's you, I would encourage you to look at the description below and feel free to call me, text me, email me, schedule a Zoom call for me. And it doesn't matter whether it's 9 days, 90 days, or 9 months from now, we will help you out. We'll want to discuss your goals with you. And if this is your first time to the channel, or it could maybe be your 50th time and you haven't liked, subscribed, or rung the bell for notifications, I would encourage you to do so right now, because then you will be the first to be notified whenever there's a new episode of Lansing, Michigan Life that goes live on the web. And we have about 1 or 2 a week that go live on YouTube. So I encourage you to be able to do that. I would greatly appreciate it. So it's Christmas. It's one of my favorite times of the year. And Lansing has a lot of great places that you can go to in this area. And I just wanted to be able to share with you some of those, because sometimes people think, oh, Lansing has nothing to do, when really, there's a lot to do during the Christmas season. So the first thing that I'm going to highlight, and this is the event that everybody knows Lansing for, is Silver Bells in the City. And Silver Bells in the City, it's usually always the Friday before Thanksgiving. So it's to kick off the holiday season. And it started in 1984. So it started, roughly 40 years ago, in 1984. And what happens is people go to the downtown where the Capitol building is, and there's a nighttime parade. It starts at 6 o'clock usually. There's a parade that lasts for about, I would say like an hour. And you see different corporations, you see high school marching bands. And again, you see like tens of thousands of people that flock to downtown area in the main strip there. And then when that is over, then what they do is they do the lighting of the Christmas tree in front of the Capitol building. So that's an exciting thing. Then when that is over, in the last few years, they've done a drone show, and it shows just a lot of different Christmas Christmas things. Like they showed the Grinch, and I don't know if you've ever been to a drone show before, but the drone shows can be extremely cool. And I mean, this one was really well done, because they just do some funky things where they just make the image right in front of you, and they even create movements. Like if they could show them like the Grinch with his arm or his leg walking, and they'll show him walking with it. I don't know how in the world they do it, but it's a cool feature that they've added within the last few years. And then to end the evening outside, they do a huge fireworks show. And I mean, that can last a good 10 or 15 minutes. And it's just a beautiful sight that you see right over the Capitol building, a fireworks display. Now, the thing about Silver Bells is it's outside, so you gotta have good weather. Hopefully it doesn't rain, hopefully it's not snowing. That has happened sometimes. The last few years, the weather has been good. And then also, especially for the little ones, they do have a place that you can go visit Santa, Mrs. Claus, and they also have reindeer that are there. So, I mean, I went this past year to Silver Bells in the City. It was their 40th anniversary. And I gotta tell you, when I was there, I was going, man, I really feel like this is an amazing event to have in our capital city for the size town that we are, because they do a great job. And even at the parade, there's a band that comes that plays steel drums. They're from Petoskey, which is up north. So that's about a 3-hour drive. And they have come for the last, I would say 4 or 5 years. And they play these drums, these steel drums, and they have singers that are there. It's the most popular float, and I look forward to it every single time. So if you're looking to move to the area, Silver Bells in the City is a must do. You can't miss it. So the second thing to do in Lansing during the holidays is at Potter Park Zoo. Now, I haven't featured Potter Park Zoo yet in one of our videos, but Potter Park Zoo is our zoo in the Lansing area. And so during the spring, summertime, the animals will be outside, right? Well, during the wintertime, what Potter Park Zoo does is the animals that are outside have some buildings that they go to inside, and they just have a wonderful light display throughout the entire zoo. And the thing that's kind of neat about going to Potter Park Zoo is, yes, you do get a light show, but then those buildings where the animals are, like the tiger and the lion, they are indoors, so you can walk inside the buildings, and sometimes they're sleeping, sometimes like they're right up against you, like in the glass, and you can see them right there. So it just depends on the time of day that you go. I mean, obviously it's only at night, but hopefully they're at a good spot that you can view them, that you can see them. And they have another area where they have a lot of the reptiles and some of the monkeys, and so they have a couple buildings where some of the animals are indoors, but you don't get the full zoo experience that you would in like the spring or summer, but you still get some of it, and you get to see an amazing light show, and they have Santa and Mrs. Claus. I've gone there several times, and I really enjoy going to Potter Park Zoo just to be able to see and walk around and see the Christmas lights. So that's number two. The third thing that is a lot of fun to do in Lansing area are the holiday concerts that they have. And the holiday concerts that they usually have are at the Wharton Center, which is a place where a lot of the national tours come to in the Lansing area, from Broadway national tours. So there's usually a few concerts that happen, but there is one concert that, well, actually there's 2 or 3 concerts that usually happen each and every year at Wharton Center. One of them is Mannheim Steamroller Orchestra. They're the ones that play the synthesized music to, I believe it's Deck the Halls, you hear it like on Christmas radio stations. So they do a full-blown concert, and it's usually during the week, like on a Thursday night or whenever they have that concert, but that's each and every year at the Wharton Center. Then they have symphony concerts from Michigan State University, and then not just at Wharton Center, but also at certain performing arts centers throughout Lansing. The Lansing Symphony Orchestra does their Holiday Pops concert as well. So there are some nice Pops concerts that you can go to. There are some theater troupes that do some holiday shows up in Owasso, Michigan, which is about 45 minutes away. There is a very talented group of people that every year they do 10 shows. They sell out every single year. Such amazing talent with dancing, singing. That is quite a place to be able to go to during the holidays up in Owasso. And then there are some theater groups that do some small little Christmas shows as well. So the arts is definitely very active during the Christmas season. So the next thing that is a top thing to do in Lansing is a place called Peacock Road Tree Farms. Now, obviously you hear tree farm, a tree farm is a place where you cut down and get your Christmas tree, right? And there are some of those within the Lansing area. There's a place called Tenenbaum Farms that's in Okemos. There are some Christmas tree farms throughout here. But the thing that makes Peacock Road Tree Farms a little different is they have a train that takes you on their farm over to an area where you can see Santa and Mrs. Claus, and they have hot chocolate there. And then also they have a Christmas shop that is there, but they also have a Christmas light show inside of their barn. So it is a really awesome and cool Christmas destination. The one thing you have to know about Peacock Road Tree Farms is you just can't walk up and think to yourself that you can just go right in and be able to take the train ride. You have to reserve it online, and the last several years especially, they sell out incredibly fast. Like, people know about Peacock Road Tree Farms, they want to take families there, and so you have to be on it you have to hear the announcement on the day that they release ticket sales. Otherwise, you're going to probably be going on a day that you really don't want to have to go on, or you're just going to have to skip out because it's going to be sold out. So Peacock Road Tree Farms, it's located in Lanesburg, Michigan, which is a little bit northeast, where there's some really beautiful lakes in Lanesburg. But then during the wintertime, they do have Peacock Road Tree Farms. Peacock Road Tree Farms is also a great place to go to during the fall time as well, but they're mostly known for Christmas time. So Peacock Road Tree Farms. The next thing that you can do in Lansing, Michigan, it's in Owasso. Remember I talked about Owasso had a theater show that sold out, right? Well, they do have another thing that makes Owasso a very popular destination. So depending on where you're at in Greater Lansing, this would be about 40 to 45 minutes away from anywhere in Greater Lansing. If you're far south in Lansing, it would be further, probably closer to an hour. But they do have an event called, it's known as the Polar Express. They have a actual steam train, And each and every year, starting in like the late summer, they'll release the ticket sales. And you guys, I tell you, like, I have been a part of the ticket sales for the last 2 years. Last year, when I got into, like, when I was trying to book for the Polar Express, we were able to get tickets, and we got into this nice little train car, and you know, we were able to take the train to this Christmas village. It's in Ashley, Michigan, but they pretend it's the North Pole, almost like it's kind of like the Polar Express. So the whole town transforms into this Christmas village. They have an area where they make an announcement of who gets to open the first Christmas gift, just like they do in Polar Express. They have little vendors, they have a magic show, they have all, you know, they really make it a cool little experience when you go to Polar Express. It is a place that you can drive up to in Ashley, Michigan. You don't have to take the train there, but to really feel the full experience, you want to take the train. But this year I tried to do the exact same thing for my family, and when we tried to do it, we were like number 2,000 in the queue, and it sold out. It sold out in less than an hour. So the Polar Express, while it is a very popular thing to do, it is something that you have to have a lot of strategy, you have to have a lot of luck, you know, because it is so popular in our area and people have heard about it. People will travel for hours to be able to go to this experience because there's not a lot of steam trains, I guess, within our area. So Polar Express, another really cool experience in the greater Lansing, Michigan area, and I guess this is a little bit on the outskirts of it, but you know, it's not a bad driving distance. Number 6. This is a place that I like to go to I haven't been able to go the last couple years, but for 3 or 4 years in a row, I would go to this place. And it's close to Jackson, Michigan. Depending on where you're at, like I live in DeWitt, which is the northern part, so it takes maybe a little bit under an hour to be able to get there. And it's at the Michigan International Speedway. It's called Night Lights. And maybe some of you who are coming from other areas have been to a place where you drive, you do like a drive-through display of Christmas lights. So this one goes for, I would say, a good 4 or 5 miles. And especially like when you first drive up to the Night Lights display, you're kind of weaving in through a lot of roads. So there's almost like a pre-show before the real show. Then when you do the real show, they have the radio synced to the lights. For a little while, like they stopped doing it, but they started doing it again, which I was so happy about. So you drive through and they've themed the music to the lights. And it's probably a good 20-30 minute experience when you're driving through there. It's pretty long. I love doing it, my kids love seeing it. So if you're able to travel about an hour away, it's definitely a place that you should check out. And again, it's at the Michigan International Speedway. It's called Night Lights. So this place is a little over an hour away. People from Lansing go to it each and every year. That's why I included it in this list. And the name of the place that people go to, it's called Bronner's. It's from a family that started a world-renowned Christmas store, and it is known as the world's largest Christmas store. So each and every year people will go around, starting end of October. It can get crazy busy there. And I was just there a couple weeks ago, and you guys, it was wall-to-wall people. It was incredibly, incredibly busy. But this world's largest Christmas store, there's every ornament you can think of. There's personalized ornaments that you can stand in a line and have them write your family name on it, and fancy lettering, and they do that for free with some of the ornaments. They have people who make ornaments, do some signings. They have Christmas villages. They have toys. They, after Thanksgiving, they will have Santa visits there. This place is huge. And a lot of people do go to Frankenmuth just for a weekend because there's tons of stuff to do, and that'll be for another video where I talk about places you can go to that are around an hour in the Lansing area. This is a place that is a great retreat center for people to just be able to go or a great vacation place that people can go to where there's indoor water parks. So I'm not going to talk about that necessarily because it's Christmas, right? But the main Christmas thing is this store. You have to go see it. You have to experience it. If you hate crowds, I'm extremely sorry, because this is not going to be a place that you're going to love to go to if you hate crowds, but you do have to experience it once. And if you do, have to get in a corner and hide, I'm sorry, but at least you can say you experienced it once, right? Anyway, that's the end of all the holiday things that there are to do in Lansing. As you can see, there are some pretty amazing things to do. It's not like, hey, go drive in some neighborhoods and see some Christmas lights. I mean, you can do that here, but it's not like it's small things. There are some major things that you can do and find some annual traditions that you can do here in the Lansing area. So again, if you are looking to move here and you haven't found a real estate agent, I would be more than happy to assist you. Look in the description below. Feel free to call, text, email, or schedule a Zoom with me. I would love to be able to speak with you. And then also, if you like what you saw, please like, subscribe, or ring the bell for notifications so that for future, you can be immediately notified when a new episode of Lansing Michigan Life goes live on the web. All right, well, thanks everybody. And I hope you have a Merry Christmas. I wanted to make this a special one here at the end, to have a holiday themed one. So to you and your family, I wish you all a Merry Christmas. Make it a great day.